Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever does actually see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. All right, folks, where we left off, and I apologize in advance. Every day at this time of the day is when the allergies decide to attack me the most, so send help. All right, alternatively, we could extend the effective date or compliance date beyond the dates in the proposed rule. This would have opposite effect of shortening the effective date or compliance date that we've discussed above. Again, I will mention this, folks. It doesn't matter whether the time is long or short. There's going to be a fallout. And that fallout is going to look exactly the same regardless of how short or long the period is for them to get weaned off of this device. This is what I need the medical model and the FDA to wrap their brains around. Okay? Quit thinking of us reacting to this like we're neurotypicals. We're not. When you can finally come from that standpoint and realize that we're not going to react like a neurotypical would react under the same situation, you'll be able to better understand and comprehend that regardless of how long or how short the period it is in regards to transitioning the kids off this device, the fallout is always going to be the same. There is no way to soften the blow, so to speak. Okay? It's going to be bad. The fallouts usually are. And it's going to take a good deal of time. And it does lessen over time, especially the more that we get to talk about the things that we've kept pent up in our heads, in our very souls for years. Anybody that has had to close off and close up that many emotions, particularly those of us who have experienced abuse, then you can understand where I'm coming from when the floodgates open. It doesn't matter when the floodgates open, the flood is still going to be rushing through. And the intensity of the water coming through at that time is not dependent on how long it takes for the gates to open. Okay? I know with neurotypicals, we can lull you, we can wean you, you understand what's going on. Remember, you're not dealing with neurotypicals here. We're not going to react the same way a neurotypical would react getting weaned off a device. It's going to be the same intensity, it's going to be the same fallout no matter what you do. The sooner folks can wrap their brains around this, the better they might be able to prepare for what is inevitably going to happen next, if they finally get this ban through and get it to stick this time. All right, let me go ahead and continue. A more extended compliance date would delay incremental costs related to the shifts in treatment. Oh, here we go again. It's all about the money. It's not about the poor kids who have been tortured with impunity for decades. But this might cost money. Same shit, different day. It's gonna cost no matter what. But Massachusetts, their court system, JRC, and all the shady sons of bitches that have been greenlighting everything JRC does has created this situation. I don't care about softening the financial blow on any of these people. Okay? Just saying. However, as part of a longer compliance period, the affected entity may develop a longer or more complex transition plan, which would require additional resources and add to the cost of the proposed rule. Let me put it to you bluntly, there's gonna need to be more resources. These kids are coming off of being tortured. They're going to need therapy at the very least. A lot of these folks are not going to be prepared for the intensity of all those pent up emotions coming out at once. More than likely, they're going to need to supplement whatever program they're getting transitioned into with proper medication. Okay? There's going to be additional costs. There is a fallout in regards to abuse. Okay? There's going to be additional costs. And I do not feel sorry that the JRC, the state of Massachusetts, and those shady, shady bastards that greenlight their every move are going to have to open their wallets. Excuse me while I play them a dirge on the tiniest little violin on planet Earth. Just saying. A longer compliance period may benefit individuals who would experience more self-interest or aggressive behavior with an abrupt change in treatment that they would experience with an extended compliance period. Again, you guys are thinking like neurotypicals, and you're viewing us coming out of this abuse like we are neurotypicals. You can't do that and actually predict a likely outcome. Okay? Get it through your head. Extended or non-extended or cold turkey, the fallout is going to look the same every single time. Every single time. Every single time. All right? But the self-interest behavior might suddenly pop up again. Newsflash. Regardless of how long you decide to make the transition off to that device be, there's going to be more aggressive self-injurious behavior and aggressive behavior. These kids have had pent-up emotions for years. Years. They're coming off a torture device. All that shit they've pent up in the back of their heads, all that shit they've been hiding behind those neurotypical masks that the world insists that we wear, it's going to come out. Okay? There is no way you're going to be able to stop that or minimize it. You just have to accept it because it's going to happen. Whether it's a short transition time, cold turkey, or long transition time, there's a fallout when you're dealing with that many years of extended abuse. Period. Period. But won't the change make it different? The change makes us different every time, folks. Even in the best case scenario, we're still at least dealing with autistic fog brain where we should just really go back to bed because nothing's do not operate machinery on autistic fog brain kind of thing, okay? Trust me. Just trust me on that one. I've killed computers. It doesn't matter. But won't it make it at least not as bad? No. There's no way to stop how bad it's going to be. There is no way to stop how bad the fallout is going to be. Please hear me. I'm going to say it again. Don't make me get a bullhorn. It does not matter how long or short the transition period is. The fallout is going to be the same at those very same behaviors that you all were afraid of in the first place are going to come out, and they're going to be more virulent and intense than they had ever been before they even entered the JRC. This is the fallout of neurodivergence when they come out of an abusive situation. It's going to happen. There's no way to soften the blow. You can prep for it as best as you can, and I would highly suggest, again, having a physician not in any way connected with the JRC to oversee that transition, number one. Number two, they may need some medication, kind of like my ass is on right now, to at least help us clear our heads and be in the present moment instead of constantly surrounded with that negative shit they've been carrying around in their heads that they haven't allowed to see the light of day until now they're safe. Okay? You're not going to lessen the reaction. Okay? There's no way to do that. Not really. Especially the first moment of coming out of it. Now, after the first few days, start talking to the physician about medication that will help at least calm things down a little bit. Get those kids into therapy immediately. They're going to need somebody to actually listen to them instead of gaslight them to hell. And yeah, you got to understand that this is going to happen. There is no way to prevent it because we are neurodivergent. And a lot of us, this is how we react after coming out of a situation where horrific abuse is involved. Okay? There's no way around it. There's no way to soften the blow. And the transition time, short, long, or cold turkey, does not matter. It will not change the intensity of those behaviors coming out of it. All right? Don't make me repeat myself again. All right. On the 2016 proposed rule indicate to FDA that a 180-day transition would not be abrupt. Other individuals may be worse off with the extended compliance period as they may experience more adverse effects of the device. Thus, a longer transition period would delay potential benefits as individuals would be exposed to the risk of the device for a longer period. There's also that too. But guys, I need you to understand. When you're dealing with someone, kids, like I was once, who've gone through abuse, I went through abuse, who are neurodivergent, whether coming out of that situation abruptly, whether you're weaned out of a situation, whether it's an extended period, short period, it doesn't matter. The reaction of coming out of that is going to be the same. The behavioral issues that have now become more intense are going to happen. There is no way to soften or alleviate that or make it not happen. This is why I suggest, first of all, be prepared for it as much as you humanly can. Make sure the physician is from a place that has no ties to the JRC, that it's not even in the same building as the JRC. Okay? First that. 2, do not be afraid of medication. When I came out of that situation, I was given some medicine to help me come out of it. Granted, at least for a solid 2 weeks, I was nothing but a ball of rage, fury, pain, and tears. Then I started taking the medicine, and that's when, after all of that, the autistic burnout came following up quick behind on its heels. But you get what I'm saying here. You have to understand that you're going to be in for it. It's going to be extremely difficult. More than likely, if you're a medical professional, unless you've seen it before, this is going to be very different than any situation you've come across. Understand that now, and also understand and wrap your brain around that the person you're bringing out of this situation is not going to react to that in the same way a neurotypical would. Those behavioral issues will come back. Those behavioral issues are going to be more intense and more virulent because of what these kids went through and all the emotions they had to turn off for so long. We shouldn't be arguing over time limit. We should be understanding that there needs to be a plan in place. Therapy immediately available. If need be, a psychiatrist with meds to at least help keep things calm in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to go ahead and close out for this one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. You know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you all again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.